Let's start with Module 2, Lesson 3 today. What is your why? And the objectives on your why is so that you know why you're choosing to do the unusual versus everyone else. It's what'll get you through the times that are tough and the day you're ready to throw up your arms and call it quits when it's not going smoothly or easily. But your why statement should also charge you or energize you. And your why statement is not a core piece of your marketing. However, you will use it in some places. Your why, on the question on the worksheet that you can download below, why have you chosen to courageously become an entrepreneur day in and day out? And then I've given you, just like in the other ones, 4 places to work out your versions of your why. And then the final one that you're going to choose to put on your success plan. And I'm going to share with you my why and to be an example for my 3 kids, Colleen, Sam, and Dale, on making a living doing what you love. That it's possible versus settling for mundane, soul-sucking work in this fabulous life. And as I was working on this, a couple other things have popped up in expression to this. This is like my snippet version. But it's, it dawned on me one day, especially as mothers, we want, our kids to see them achieve and be successful and to go after things. And I'm like, the light bulb went off and I was like, and I can't expect them to do it if I'm not willing to be that same example for them. And so that's my why, is to do exactly what I also expect them to do, because it's not easy. And it took me a long time before I would even say that to myself as well, because I tend to take charge and just be the driven type A personality anyway. But the last couple years in my relationship, I've learned to embrace more of my feminine side than I have just in the first, about 35 years of my life, and been stuck in the masculine energy. So I've learned to embrace both sides of that energy, and it's great. So the other part that's coming up for me, like I said, as I was working on this, one other thing that came up, and right now I'm not going to obsess with perfectionism over how this fits in, but to also, I think my biggest why is to express my highest self successfully and experience the lifestyle that matches my highest self, not my ego self or others' egos around me in my life. I think, especially if, family ties, that bond is strong, they tend to frown upon you growing. Trust me, I have numerous family members who frown upon me growing faster than they, because of what it stirs up for them. And again, it's taken me a long time to not learn to take it personally, because obviously we don't, the child in us, we don't want to disappoint our families. However, the fact is, part of our independence journey is growing more interdependent and in your journey, not for them. So again, I'm not going to obsess how this fits in. To me, it's kind of the same thing. It's just being said a little bit in a different way, but it's also very important to me. I'm all about soul growth. And then connecting the dots, you're going to use this in your intro story and in your email series, in your intro email series. When they first come on to you and you're doing that intro series. Some call it your welcome series, some call it your indoctrination series. I'm just calling it an intro email series to who you are and what your business stands for and everything else. So, and that'll come more later. You'll see those dots connect in the success plan and everything too. So You know, I have seen some trainings out there that talk about your why is also for your about page. And I have to disagree a little bit. I have found one coach who did teach that your why, your about page should be more about your ideal client versus your why. I'm not saying it's probably not infused in there. I think it's more your mission is you're going to find that your mission is going to resonate more with being on your about page versus your why. Again, the whole point of My Business My Way, though, is you filling into that. You will know which pieces of the puzzle are going to connect in those spots. And that's all about what My Business My Way stands for. Is it's you choose the answer, and you choose with full faith, and it works. Because you're all in. Your energy will automatically be all there. So, common power leaks for the why. Staying on the surface and not digging in. And then not being connected to it so that it feels you. Or your ego blocks you from you feeling fueled by it. You know, our egos will tend to make us feel guilty a lot, or even reuse the shame that we've been shamed by other people with when it's a lie. And part of your independence journey is the atonement of your ego. It's by design. So be in your power and take charge of your ego. It's what you're supposed to do, again, in that atonement journey. And stop letting it lie to you. You are to set it straight. Debunk the lies it's telling you. Get into a habit of when it pops up. You know, I have a daily worksheet on my desk of, you know, what I'm doing. And I have a spot when, for the lack of a better word, excuse what's about to come out of my mouth, but when the shit comes up, I have a spot to write it on, and I don't allow it, I used to allow it to stop me, but I set it aside and I work on it and journal about it later. Here's why. I think a lot of us, you know, and you obviously have to do what's right for you. Again, that's the whole point of My Business My Way. If you need to address it right in the moment. I have found, just like we used to at a job, you had to set your personal stuff aside. So if you did it at your job, I have now brought that same thing into my getting my business stuff done. I don't let my ego use that stuff to stop me from, oh, I'm going to go take a nap now. Or I'm going to go see Stanley needs me. I know he does. So I'll get up and go away from my desk and stop working on what I'm doing. And it's stopping me in my tracks. So I would encourage you have to feel that out and to figure out which way works best for you. Are you going to set your ego straight by saying, okay, this is no longer negotiable. You're not interrupting my work. I've got to get my marketing material made. At a job, I had to learn to set my stuff aside if personal stuff came up. And so I would encourage you to find that same type of workflow so that you have that power over your ego, and it will stop. And I'll tell you, it's been a lot more peaceful when I'm sitting down to do work and everything too. It's not interfering nearly as much because I showed it who's boss. Seriously, I have had very few interruptions now since I absorbed that philosophy that I used to have in a day job, you know, for the corporate guy. Okay, so the last one, be in your power, and remember, you're a spiritual being on a human experience. Yes, you will make mistakes. And I purposely have learned just to mess with my ego more because, hey, why not? It messed with me for so long, especially when it comes to my, you know, success path, that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay not to have things perfect. Just give yourself grace. I've learned if I, you know, had an idea, but let's say I outgrew the idea and it's no longer fitting for me, I've learned to write on there, I forgive myself, and I either keep it around for a little while or I just toss it. But by writing, I forgive myself on it because it's no longer speaking to me or it's not, the timing is right, whatever. Like I said, I forgive myself on it and I toss it. And it feels, and I'm literally letting whatever energy I took on afterwards around it gone. So try that if you wish. If it feels right to you to try to practice using or come up with, again, my business, my way, your own. When you can't give yourself grace or allow yourself to be imperfect, you're going to stay stuck and spinning, and that is your ego winning. So remember your atonement, and just, it's part of the evolution of your independence, okay? And so celebrate. You are building each piece more and more of your foundation. I hope you're getting as excited as I am. And remember, later on, we are going to cement in your foundation fully, not, you know, obviously it's going to feel more and more like the pieces of the puzzle are coming together with each lesson. But later on, we are actually going to go through and actually cement it in as well. So I will see you in the next lesson for tomorrow.